How we doing, traders? Welcome to the one, the only Money Mitch. Let's go ahead and talk about the swing trades that we could potentially be taking today. Yes, we had a huge bounce in the market today. We'll talk all about it. Stick around. Let's get into the watch list. Let's talk about the sectors. What's hot, what's not on the one, the only Money Mitch.
It's time for Money Making Mitch. When investors need a story, we're going to the moon. Welcome to Money Mitch, where story is everything. I'm here to find you the next opportunity. It's all about the green hands. Now we all know the bull market is here to stay. Money Mitch.
What's going on, traders? How'd you guys enjoy the market day? I know I enjoyed it myself, did a couple trades. Yes, I had a loser, but also set myself up in two winners, still holding on to those. I'll talk about those right here on Money Mitch. You guys start us up with a thumbs up. Let's get this show going. First thing we want to do is check in with the chat. What's up, everybody in the chat? We got James, Bourne, of course, Dylan in the house. Looks like we got Todd, Toronto. What's up? What's up? Yeah, you already know we're in the house. We're getting it going. If you're new to the show or this is your first time checking out Money Mitch, normally I do this type of show on Monday and Tuesday. Friday, we take a more of a laid back approach. But in this market, I want to look at opportunities and what is out there for you guys to go ahead and pay attention to. So let's go ahead. Let's get into the market. What's going on, Antonio? I won't throw that comment up, but I can't blame you. I hope you're enjoying it. From a man from Colorado. Take it easy, man. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get into the market. Let's go ahead and see what we saw. Look at the line I have drawn already, guys. I've been looking at this line. It's a prior resistance from June, and we kind of saw this holding time in kind of this period here. The exact date here was July 19th. So I was looking for that to hold, and we bounced straight off that level, really started pushing back up. And that level was really set in pre-market. It wasn't even set in the open. So now that we're getting back above these 430s, we're looking to see what opportunities are out there in the market. And so there was a lot of stocks moving today. Of course, Merck leading here. And for someone that asks if you know, maybe a put on Merck is something that you should take a look at. Right now, I wouldn't touch this stock. I mean, can it come back down towards that trend line? Yeah, I mean, I think, it had a day where it went, all the way from 74 to 84, and it could retrace about 50% of that. So maybe you're looking at somewhere here like 79, 80. But I mean, how much room do you really have on the downside? That's why I wouldn't take this type of approach. It's always up to you to determine if that's what you like. But hey, let's go ahead and get this going. Toronto, if this is your first time checking this out, glad you're here. This is what I normally do on Monday and Tuesday. So we normally go through the sectors. Let's take a look at the Qs. How did the Qs do today? Good bounce back. And one of the things that I will show you guys is that this one actually went down right at the gates, right? It actually headed down, made that look towards 354. What did that really do? It at least gave us a pullback closer to the channel. As we've been going closer towards this channel, I've been looking for the Qs to find a bid and get right back up. I'll be looking for them to hold pullbacks to this low here now. So looking towards 358. We want to see 358 hold and it start pushing back up there towards 365. Some of the strong names today in the Qs, you can look at Marriott, a bunch of reopening plays, Booking. Even Zoom did decent today, but I mean, 2.49% isn't the biggest move there. But definitely going to pay attention to some of these names. Look at Google bouncing up. That's what we want to see. The Qs finding some support and starting to come back up. That could give us that next lift going into the end of the year. All right, let's go ahead and catch up with the chat. What's up, Clyde? Did you get in can? No, I didn't get in can, but I'll take a look at that. Got no problem. Sending the love from Sacramento. I actually need to check out Sacramento. I will let you know, Antonio, when I go to Sacramento. I've been wanting to check out the West Coast. I've been to LA, been to Anaheim, San Diego, but I haven't been up north to, let's say, San Francisco, Sacramento area. We'll see what happens. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look. Grabbing a drink, chilling with me. Hey, take it easy, man. Grab a beer, whatever you want, and kick back, relax. We'll talk some stocks. All right, so there's so much to talk about today. You guys let me know if there's an industry that you guys liked particular today. Put it in the chat, whether that be, let's say, the airlines, the cruises, or something like that. I'm going to start going through some of the ones that I was looking at, and we'll keep running through. If there's anything that stands out to you, if a light goes off, let me know in the chat, and I'll stop and go more in depth into that stock. After this, we got, of course, some options education. Also, Brad Weber is going to get into that, so stick around for that. Tom, Mitch, officially a Zinger, just joined. Hey, well, welcome, Tom. Hey, I'll tell you one thing about the Zinger Nation is we have a lot of different shows, and we're working even more to bring you those different styles of shows, whether it be from an NFT show, whether it be from doing stocks, technical analysis, to also pre-market prep when we get ready in the morning with Dennis Dick and Joel Elconin. We got a lot coming at you. We're going to be doing public interviews. This is what this is all about and what Benzinga is all about at the end. Let's go ahead. Let's get into some of these, because if not, some people are going to be like, we talking stocks here. Let's get into it. All right. So first thing, energy sector led us up today. Of course, I like to pay attention to the change percent since the daily open. What this gives me is not the approach that the sectors looked at in the morning, but what they look at from 9:30. This is what I pay attention to. So energy led in that area. You could then look at financial services and then industrials right behind that. Nice bottoming action on the industrials chart. Look how this is looking really good, setting up for reopening trades. I think you really need to pay attention to it, because if this is what we're going to get, I think, we've been kind of seeing that reopening trade go away, but with the news that we got from Merck, I think that really reignited the trust in the reopen. We'll see what happens here, and a bunch of these names really just take off. All right, so I'm going to run through some of those names in the industrials that did well today. Let's first take a look at industries, right? So we like to work backwards here, work from the sector to the industry, which is the bottom right, and then we work to specific stocks to the left. We want to work backwards because what this does is that gets us into a strong sector, industry, and then strong stocks. That's what we want to be looking for, so that we can at least be in the top kind of, let's say, the top trades. The best type of trades that we're looking for are working backwards so that we can be with the herd. All right, let's go ahead. Airlines, if we take a look at some of these, of course, AZUL did pretty well today, but some of the ones that I had called out, and if you guys watched live trading with Benzinga, you guys would have been able to catch this. I gave my watch list in the morning, and if you really take a look, my watch list was pretty good. It's over here behind me. Let me try to pop this out right quick. All right, there you go. We can move this over here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move that watch list over here for us here. All right, there it is. All right, so I'll get that watch list over here. It looks like I lost it in between my screens here. It's somewhere around here. There we go. Not even that one. I got so many screens, guys. I'm just gonna keep rolling through. But UAL was one of the stocks on my watch list given on that live trading stream. And so one of the things that I was looking at for it to break out through this 48.95, get strong at the 50 mark. Let's take a look at what we got today, right? And so today we've got a breakout through the 50 mark, and then it retraced below the 50. But then when it popped back up above, we got that pullback right to that 50. This is why I like using those VWAPs. And of course, this one did kind of break that VWAP. You would have been able to take first profit if you just traded off the VWAP. This was the first attempt. Then this attempt, you get broken down, so it goes towards the support. But once it comes back above, you actually get this pullback. This is my favorite approach right here, because now you're back above after 2 times trying to break the the VWAP, and then you can get in on that pullback here and then look for the extension above the high here, which would be the high was set at 50.58. So you could have taken that approach and attacked that line there and looking to take some profit here. And then you would take some profit there and look for the extension to continue and hold on to that winner. Not a bad trade there. UAL. Let's take a look at some other trades in that area. HA here, Hawaiian Holdings, not looking too bad, bouncing on up there. I think this is a good one to pay attention to. I like the downtrend. If you can see this one did downtrend hard, but now looking to hold above 23. If you see that hold above 23, you could get a 2-day move in that play right there. All right, catching up with the chat right there. It looks like Lone Pigs and Cub talking in the chat. What's going on out there? How we doing? Looks like Lone Pigs and Cub was in the healthcare conference yesterday talking about DMT, I think, in the chat, but who knows? Find out about those healthcare companies that were talking about DMT. Let's get into some of these other ones. I did take a trade here, guys, on ULCC. This is one of my swing trades. I'm actually gotten in right here on that circle. I circled it out for us. I was looking at this earlier in the day. Now we've kind of gotten a couple highs. I want to see us hold this on pullbacks. We're right by my entry. So I'm going to hold towards 16 right now, looking for this to get back above 17 and hopefully back above the IPO open, which was 1861. That would be kind of my approach to this stock. You know, it kind of went down during the negative delta time. I think it could come back with some trust in the airlines. We'll see what happens with this one. All right, let's keep going. Let's get into some other names here. So DAL, nice day on there, 6%. JetBlue was another one that I was looking to get strong, and I really like this one. I would like to have this one near $16. Reason why is it has that nice resistance at 1588, so maybe a little pullback to 16, risking off of the 1580s is what I'll be looking for in JetBlue, but definitely setting up a nice move to the upside. We'll see what happens with JetBlue and the situation really with COVID. All right, so just to kind of move forward, you could look at AAL, LUV. They all had good days, and this is why I like knowing industries and the area to trade, because if you see here, guys, what do you see? All green, every single name. What does that do? That tells me that if I would have bought the basket, I would have been in the green. Even if some of these names go red, I would have been into that green, and this is why I like having those baskets approach. All right, catching up with the chat. What's up out there? Looks like Spire Global looks like a buying opportunity after they filed an S1 effectiveness order. Now looks undervalued. SPIR, let me take a look here. Ooh, man, this one flipped on us. This one looks like they got their warrants called. I personally would just be careful, but man, this one did flip down. There's a couple other ones that are in this kind of area that you can keep an eye out for. I would come to SPAX Attack, Spiel. This is all about the SPACs. Come to SPAX Attack on Monday. I'll cover this stock specifically, and we'll go more in depth about Spire Global and whether Chris and I feel this is a good spot if it's undervalued. I did take some SPACs this week. One that I did take was Desktop Metal. I'll look for the $7 to hold. We'll see what happens in that one. I took a shot on these two. Don't worry, I get caught too. We'll see what happens with this one. Bourne has to get running. Got no problem, man. Enjoy your weekend, Bourne. Have a great one. What's going on, Mitch? Justin's talking in the chat here. ENG is in the building for the next leg up. Let's take a look here. Ooh, actually, not a bad looking chart, Justin. I got to say, you're not incorrect in your thinking and why you could see this one moving up. And I might even take this one out on Monday, see what happens here. I would draw an extended line here, and I wouldn't pay attention to anything that happened up here because it feels like this was all extreme trading, right? And so when you get the penny stock, sometimes you will get those immediate rips, and that was a lot probably due to the hype and the volume that came in it. But one thing that we definitely need to start doing is trying to pay attention to it completely here. So I would look at this as an attempted run up. That's the first attempt to break out through this name, then you're getting the third attempt here. So first of all, it was a ripped here. So then you get another push. Then you get a third push. Now it really needs to hold on any pullbacks towards that $3. I would even be okay with a little bit of pullback closer towards let's say the prior resistance, but I would want this to start holding. I'd want it to start really it's okay to get these pullbacks, but really now it needs to hold 3. You got on the hourly chart, because this is my favorite chart. That's why I'm going a little bit closer, pointing out 3 resistance tries. Now you want to see it hold, and definitely from that point on, make a breakout attempt. So for me, I would definitely be watching ENG. It looks like a good stock here. Has a couple pops. Look at the volume that comes in, and now we're looking for it to just hold 3 and then curve right back through, giving that breakout look. We'll see what happens in this one. Look how it's gone sideways on the daily. You really want to see a 3 hold for the next leg up, and we'll see what happens in this one, which is ENG. Next stop for me would be probably near this 200-day moving average, which is near the resistance of 362. So going into 350s, 360s, look for a little bit of resistance and see if you can get some volume and leg up towards that next level. We'll see what happens. Let's keep it going. ENG, yes, Antonio, that was the one right there. ENG gets popped on talks of infrastructure bill. When it eventually does happen, that's when it'll rip. Happy, good information. That's what we're all about, right? A team. Let's keep coming at it. All right, Pam talking in here. Laura is paying $7 a share for holders on October 6th. I'm guessing that's a dividend play there. AULAUR. Lorette Education here. Okay. Well, you can definitely see there's some pops here, and I think you're not the only one chasing this dividend. I think right here you're seeing some pop. What they do, they're attacking the support, trying to get the stock off the support, which is right down here, and they're attacking that support. I don't mind this one. You guys know how I like to draw my 3 resistance. So look, you got 1 on the push. You got 2 on this one. You get a third. And then what do we want to see? We want to see a move to support and then a hold the support. Look for volume to continue into the breakout. That's exactly what you get here. Lower volume, pushes off, creates a hammer candy, then rips up there, giving us a really good bullish candle. What we would want to see is it actually close right here or above 18. That shows really great strength in LAUR. And if it's paying a dividend on October 6th, so that means you need to hold toward that date. I don't know when the X dividend date is, and I could look it up on Benzinga Pro, but that's what you need to pay attention to, Pam, is they call it the X dividend date. That's where you need to have the stock in your possession before that date and hold it a certain amount of time towards the dividend payout date. So just to pay attention to that, but not a bad one to call out, Pam. Enjoy that one. Are we bottomed out on TMC? Man, this was the one that those YouTube pumpers, they were pumping this one really quickly, TMC, saying that it was going to go towards 50, 100. And this is a pre-revenue stock, well, a SPAC that is trying to do ocean floor exploration. I can tell you, Roman, that more than likely it's going to have a tough time producing revenues. So why you think it's going down really here? It's probably that it's going to have a really tough time to make this pre-revenue company actually start producing that money and getting it to the bottom line. We'll see what happens. Let's keep going through some of these swing trades. I only got about 8 minutes left, so I want to keep going and running through some industries here. So the next up we can look at is shipping and ports. I want to pay attention to this because if the market's going up, one thing that we have talked about is what supply strengths and that problem that we're having right now, right? And so what I want to see is if these shipping and ports companies are going to take another major rip on up. Let's take a look here. This is the industry. This is the index that I take a look at for shipping and ports. And one thing I can say is that it looks like we pushed on up, came back towards this resistance and made it a support right here. So I'm going to be looking for this to really quickly make that gap fill, which is right up here. So we're trying to fill this gap. It looks like it already filled it. And then we're going to look for that continuation push to the next level, which would be a push out through here. So let's see what happens now that we're getting this nice little hold. I could see shipping ports really get hot. Some of those names, let's run through them. So NAT, and I gave some of these out earlier in the week because I was looking for them with the shipping constraints. But let's take a look here. NAT, look at that trade. I loved how it went through a multiple high area, multiple days where it was trying to get through this level, and then boom, today you get that push on up to 283. Let's take a look at some other ones. NM, nice push on up, starting to come back. GOGL, I don't like this one too much because it gaps too much. It's a little bit harder to trade. Tops, we know how this one likes to go parabolic when it does make a move. Keep your eyes on it. Looks great at that 150. If it can get a run towards $2, I'll definitely take a look at this one. SBLK, one I gave out earlier in the week, really starting to push now to the resistance. I like this one to get strong at 26. We'll see if it makes that next leg up. INSW, International Seaways, not the biggest mover here. I don't like it too much. It is coming back, but nothing that I would really pay attention to there. DSX, I like that push that we got right back up here. EGLY, ECs, GLBS. There's so many in here that you can take a look at. This is why I like going through this, because sometimes you're not going to remember all these, but one thing you can do is have a scanner that helps you get to the stocks that you want to start paying attention to. So if we look at the biggest capitalization ones, they're not really moving. It looks like SBLK is the first one to move there. GNK is another one to keep on watch. This one looks good, primed to break out through 22. GKNOP, this one looks interesting. Also, I'd be paying attention to the shipping and ports. All right, let's keep going. Infrastructure operations, rentals, and leasing services. Have you guys seen the move that CAR has put on since the pandemic? We're talking an over 1,000% return there on CAR. And man, there's a lot of these that I'm paying attention to. One is a trucking company called R. It's called Raiders System. The ticker is R. I've been calling it out since I drew this trend line, and it's been holding well. I think this one eventually makes a move towards 100. We'll see what happens. RCII coming back towards the 200-day moving average. We'll see if this holds now 55 on pullbacks and gets back up there towards 65. All right, let's go ahead. Let's keep going. What other ones do we see out there being called out? You could look at the railroads, even the railroads infrastructure. We talked about it. And if the bill comes out, these are going to move even more. UNP, CNI, that one looks interesting. I like that bottoming action. You see clear support here, and now you're seeing it trying to get through this right here, this pattern right here. As long as it can get above this and really start giving some strength, get us up towards that 120, we're going to be looking good to get back up there towards 125. We'll see what happens on this one. This is CNI, Canadian National Railway. All right, you could also take a look at some of these other ones. Let's take a look at some consumer cyclical stocks. Gambling stocks were one of the ones that I called out today. Of course, one of the ones I was looking for a reversal was DKNG because it had so many down days. Now with the positive sentiment, I was looking for a big pop up. That's what we got right out the gates. Good move there. IGT, another one having a good day right now. And one that I'm keeping on watch is BTCM. It did start reversing, but we'll see if the Bitcoin can get that moving right back up. That's called bit mining. BTCM, we'll see if that one gets moving. Penn is another one that I put out today that I was looking for a nice move. Look at the move you got in Penn here. Really strong move, green candles straight up on the hourly, and then a sideways consolidation and almost no pullback. I'm going to keep watching this one on the daily. I really like that move back up there. Looks like it could hold now, get through 80, and then take that next level up through 85. I could see Penn by the end of the year by 100. And that's what I'll go ahead on the limb and put it out there. Yes, I'm calling it pen at 100. We'll see what happens, and you guys hold me to it. All right, guys, we are at 427. We're almost towards the end of the show today. We got about 97 people watching right now. If you guys can do me the favor, hit the like if you guys appreciate me going through all these stocks. I'm trying my best to get through them fast, but like always, that's all we can do. Looks like Jason's blog is here taking over. What's going on? How you doing out there? All right, guys, catching up with the chat. Is there any ticker you want me to touch before I get on out of here? Put it in the chat right now. Let's keep going, guys. Let's get into some of these other stocks. Lodging having a good time right now. If you guys remember on Money Mitch last week, Monday, I gave Marriott, Hilton, and I also gave VAC because I was looking for this one to continue with kind of the Airbnb move. And I'm still annoyed that I got stopped out of Airbnb on that pullback. But Airbnb still looking great. Look how this is just sideways stepping up. That's still looking awesome there. Hit the like, chaps. Let's keep it going. What's going on, Mike? I'll bet you lunch that pen is under. Let's do it, Jay. Hey, Jay, I don't know how I get you that lunch, but let's do it. Let's take a little lunch bet. All right, what's going on out there? What's up? What's up? Asking, not walking. Let's keep going. Yeah, this is not a bad move on up in Airbnb. All right, let's go ahead. Let's pay attention to some moves. Microsoft coming back up. That's a good one. AMD, how did that one do? This is one that's interesting. It's either going to crack down big through this 100 or reverse right back up, and it'll be back at 120. It's an interesting stock to definitely play is AMD. All right, looks like someone's throwing up Rocket Lab, RKLB there. Let's take a look here. I liking that 15 approach right now. You're kind of having a little bit of a U effect, but the real question is, can you get the volume to come back in? Because if you look here, look how on the hourly, you had all this volume pop, and now the volume has just died off. That's what I'd be paying attention to. Can we get the volume to come back in and come back up through the resistance? So let's just draw some lines right here. Let's get it drawn out here. And so 1619 is very important. But one thing I'm going to point out is the tries to get above. You know how I like to point that out. It's been trying to get above these levels multiple times. If you could see, we pulled back to these levels and we broke out, right? That big breakout. That's one up. Then we come back down. We try to come back up immediately through there. We came back up through this high one time. Now we need to see it come through 17 and hold. If not, it looks like it could come back closer towards this 1359 and test that bottom again. We'll see what happens on RKLB. Rocket Lab is a good stock. I do agree with that. I don't disagree with the story on Rocket Lab. The big thing is, do the technicals hold at these levels? Got lucky in Rocket Lab as well. Nice stock. It is. I mean, at the end of the day, it's an interesting stock. How's my Genie doing? Oof, Genie, you want to make me sweat, right? WGA, don't worry. I can sweat. I've been holding this one for a while, guys. I've actually been holding this one, and I'll draw. I have a little line. You see this line, the 1680? That's actually my entry. You see how it popped off of there? I'm okay with that, you know. I could have, I did buy this one down in this area, and I did sell some at 20. But I should have, if I taken this as a trade, I would have sold it up there near 20s, 25s is what I was really looking for. But to me, this is more of an investment. And it's so hard to do investments for me because I'm such a swing trader. Day traders is more my style. But yeah, I'm trying to hold this for the long term, Genie. And as long as it doesn't cut 16, I think I'm going to hold on and just let this kind of try to get back up there through 25 and continue moving. You got out at 1862. Can't blame you. It wasn't a bad trade. I'm definitely still in this one, but we'll see what happens if it can get back above 20 on the daily. You said you never sell, Genie. Exactly. We're not selling. We're not selling. Don't ask, because I'm not selling. Let's go ahead. Let's wrap it up here. We're going to go and get you over to Brad Weber. Brad Weber should be starting up right now. So you guys do me the favor. Before you get on out of here, hit the like. I will transfer you right on over. We got another hour of shows for you. It's been a crazy day in the market. I know that you guys enjoyed the swings, the roller coaster rides that we have. And always do me the favor. Give us some comments after the show how you guys want to see Money Mitch expand. Do you guys want to see more trades? Do you guys want to see kind of strategy breakdown? Let me know. I'll definitely get into it. Till next time. And like always, guys, we'll see you on Money Mitch.